Hey guys, so I'm kind of running around a lot right now, which is typical me. As we get to know each other, as we get to know each other better, Bertram, you'll come to find that this is quite a common thing with me. Don't watch me spit. We're not in the bedroom. You can't do that. You don't have privileges to that yet. I just wanted to do a quick little thing before I go. I'm going on a road trip. Super excited. Okay. Hey, my laundry machine is so loud right now. So I'm just gonna be shouting over it. Thank you, modern technology, for helping me. Rip to planet Earth, because we're fucking it up with our modern technology, but it's fine. Oh, hold please. Hold please. I wore a little suit today for everybody involved. What do you think? Do you guys like it? I like it. I'm lucky that I get to wear it. I think it's a great suit. Okay, hold on. The washing machine, girl, I cannot. Okay, here we go. I have to pull up my laptop to use it as a reference because that's just what we have to do. I don't feel inclined to hit you with a full crotch shot, not yet. Anyway, I guess I'll just talk to you for a second before I head off on the road trip. There's something that I have been thinking about a lot, and I'm gonna try to be brief about it because, again, my friends are gonna kick my ass. I'm already running so late. Time management is not my friend. Also, this ascot needs to be fixed. How's my hair? Am I panicking? Does it look okay? Okay. So as far as the human experience goes, I've been thinking so much about our collective consciousness that we have as individuals, but like how that connects together as a whole. I do have the belief that we are all connected in some way, shape, or form. I don't see how it could be any other way. Scientifically and spiritually, it makes just a lot of sense to me. I might compile like lists. Oh fuck, I have 4 minutes. Lists like editing me or whatever, the other bitch, the one that like has to deal with my bullshit. I might have her like compile some things that like prove this theory. But anyway. Hey guys. Yeah, that is me. I don't want to hear actually a word about it. So I ended up yapping for so long. Like, this is a whole new video inside of the original small video I was supposed to film. I kind of forgot that this was 2 separate videos in one. So yeah, it's just, I'm so sorry, but I'm keeping majority of it, okay? I actually think my second video that I filmed was way better than my first. So that's what's happening. Okay, enjoy. Hello, the other bitch here that has to deal with all of her bullshit. So I have some things that I'd like to say, and I did compile some things because another thing that I want to make very clear right now that I have been learning is that you don't need to, but if you want to live a life that is just not so sorrowful and nihilistic and like purposeless and like genuinely dreadful, I would recommend on shifting some of your beliefs that you hold about the world around you. I don't mean to do this in like a toxic positivity way that's like, oh, it's all such a wonderful... Blah, blah. Let's be realistic here, people. We are living on planet Earth in 2026. Shit's a little bit fucked, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that, because I think actually admitting that out loud to ourselves in every area of our life, shit is actually fucked, and like getting that out and verbalizing it gives us room to work with it instead of kind of running from it. So I kind of talk about this a little bit more too. Also, this video is so short, hence why this video is going to be a little bit longer. Also, I love to cosplay like I'm just so fucking smart and cool. because I have a pen and I'm wearing a suit. The reality is I'm a very privileged individual. I was born into privilege, and it would be very silly of me to pretend that I wasn't, which is another thing that I wanted to get off of my chest in regards to this whole thing, because I think it's really easy for people that have privilege to think about the world in a way where it is very sunshine and rainbows, shock bra, sunshine and rainbows, and very much just like, oh, isn't everything wonderful? And here goes the washing machine. Now I'm gonna have to raise my voice. I'm asking for a microphone for Christmas so I can really start to take this seriously. Oh, it's such an oxymoron to say that I'm gonna take YouTube seriously. Funny, but anyway, I think it's very important to acknowledge where I come from, because again, even though I do come from privilege, I have been taken to the depths of my own personal hell and despair and own horribleness and psyche. Very recently, actually. I'm coming out of a phase. Not a good one. But I still, again, this video is going to be a completely different perspective than a video of a child that has PTSD and like, again, not saying I don't struggle with mental stuff. When it comes to mental stuff, what I can help you with is OCD, anxiety, and depression, baby. But some other stuff is out of my wheelhouse. So if you're looking for like PTSD or something like that, I don't know, I would probably look at a different video. But also, oh my god, the washing machine. Girl, if you wanted to say hi, you could have just said so. You don't have to be doing the damn most, but whatever, it's fine. We'll just babe, just ignore her. It's just you and me. Anyway, saying that it's important to acknowledge the privilege I possess, because again, you are going to get a radically different perspective about the world coming from someone who has gone through a lot of different shit. All of that to be said, though, that doesn't mean that there's necessarily a right or wrong way. It is just purely experience-based, like how we experience the world based on our unique circumstances that we've been given. And another thing, oh shit. The only reason that I say all of this is because I want to give more perspectives to people that are like helpful and helping them kind of navigate their own thoughts and this like fucking sea of shit we've been thrown into, and hopefully like help clear out some of the fog and muck and whatever, and help them kind of get to a better place, if nothing else. And again, I am not a fucking professional, bitch. I don't know shit about fuck. But I do have some experience under my belt, and I don't think that I should discredit that either. So anyway, yeah, that's just me saying and going on the record and being like, I am privileged. I'm also a white woman, so it's kind of obvious. But that doesn't mean that I can't help you in some ways. In all ways, no, never. But in some ways, yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I had to learn how to help myself before I could help other people. And another thing too to keep in mind is like there are people that have been put in like the most hellish, god-awful, terrible circumstances and experienced tremendous amount of pain that I couldn't even probably fathom as an individual. Not to compare, but like, you know, like some shit that like again is so far out of my wheelhouse, and they still choose to be good, and they still choose to look at the world in a way that's not so evil and malicious and tortured and awful. While those things are so very present, it's very sad. And again, that's me circling back to my original point of being like, admitting out loud that shit is fucked and scary is actually a really great place to be, because that is the first step, is just getting it out there and being like, so where do we go from here? That's how every fucking revolution and every single change and altering the course of history for the better has started off with admitting that, like, you know what, I just simply can't do this anymore. Shit's fucked. What are we gonna do about this, you know? So, yeah, it's not a weakness, or it doesn't make you, like, a bad person to admit out loud that you fucking hate this world that you live in, or that you fucking hate your mental state right now, or you fucking hate, period. Like, you know what? Congratulations, you're human. You're human in the world of 2026. That's a very fair take. But let me remind you, that's not the only take. It doesn't have to be, at least. But that is a take, and if that's where you're at right now, wonderful. Happy to have you. because I've been there. I've been there very recently. I went to the place of, probably as dark as you can get as a person. I know that sounds like very, like, oh my god, but no, it was the most intense grief and mourning. I literally just laid on my couch and I thought every single thing that I had known about the world since childhood was ripped out from under me. Every safety net that I've had in this life and every belief that I've held was ripped out from under me because of the things that I've been dealt this year, the cards that I've been dealt. It's been a hard year, okay? And also, just kind of waking up and coming to the new dark realization that this world is kind of not what you think it is a lot of the time. It fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. But I will say, it also has given me a chance to rebuild myself because, sometimes, again, another hard pill to swallow is like, sometimes it takes a mass amount of destruction for growth and rebirth and rebuilding and healing. And, I don't think destruction is bad in that way. Oh my god, I need to, put my towels in the dryer. But, so, all of this does correlate, I promise. Again, I just want it to be very clear that I understand what it's like to be in pain. And maybe not suffer to the degree that some suffer, but also carry a fair amount of pain in my heart. And that is the thing that I think is what bonds us as humans. And I was kind of saying in this video, we are so quick to judge each other for our behaviors and how we react to our circumstances and pain that we've been given, but also it's what our brains do, what they're designed to do is fucking protect us in every sense. And sometimes our protection skills override our logic, our ability to think logically and be like, maybe this is not a good idea, but in the moment, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, we are doing everything we can to protect ourselves. That's a very primal instinct, and also just given everything that we've been given and so much information thrown at us in such a short amount of time, it makes sense why all of us are the way that we are. I don't think that we were ever supposed to be able, as humans, hold the amount of shit that we have to hold on the day-to-day in the modern world with every horrible, awful, negative thing being thrown at us. And it, negativity, our brain holds on to negativity more than it does positivity, and it's, used to manipulate us into kind of just being so scared of the world around us. And again, why I think it's important to tread lightly a lot of the time, because there is some really fucked up, scary shit in this world. Really fucked up, horrible, awful shit. Again, I have no problem saying that because I think it'd be a little bit delusional to not. But also, it's not all like that. And I know, especially when you're so in your own circumstances and your own circumstances are really painful right now, you like to label everything as horrible, awful, terrible, all of this shit, oh my god, doomed to fail, suck fest, all these things. And what's funny about that too is that's just perpetuating the cycle even further, because your brain likes to prove itself to you and prove that it's right on the day-to-day. That's our little egotistical side being see, I fucking told you so. You just carry a belief that this world around you is evil and dark and twisted and morbid. And again, why that is an experience that can definitely be had and is being had by many people out there. It doesn't have to be had by you all the time. But our brain goes and seeks out all of this negative information, and just so it can prove itself and be see, I told you. Shit is all fucked and nothing matters. When you can so easily shift your beliefs, finally getting back to what I was saying, and be okay, cool. That's a belief and that's a thought. That's not the truth. And again, your brain's going to try to be no, it is. No, it is the truth. It is the truth. God damn it, it is the truth. Because it's afraid of anything new. But you realize that you're okay, not everyone is living in that. There are some people that are living a really beautiful, wonderful, fulfilling life. What are they doing? Because you don't see 7 billion people's experience in lives. Thank God. That's way too much to consume. You kind of just see your own tunnel 2020 pipeline, which again is very healthy in the way that we're not supposed to take on all of the world's problems, even though it certainly feels like we do, especially at this time because of all the information thrown at us. But shifting your beliefs about the world around you is really important. And again, not in a way to like lie to yourself and be like, oh, it is actually all beautiful and wonderful and perfect, but to have both sides and have both of them sit at the table with you and be like, okay, cool. So I can understand that, yeah, there's a lot of awful war, terrible children dying, horrible, awful things going on. I need to know that and acknowledge that. But then I can also realize that behind the scenes, people are constantly in lives or in hospitals saving lives and working on new treatments and working really hard behind the scenes. And all of the positivity seems to just randomly slip under the radar. And I also saw an argument on Reddit. I've been in a rabbit hole, girl, that was like, well, yeah, maybe that is true, but one handhold doesn't take away from the vast amounts of suffering going on in the world. And I'm like, you're right. Like, and it doesn't cancel it out or like even it out. And I'm like, actually, yeah, no, you're right. That is a very fair take. But does that have to make it any less good? Does that make it any less than what it is? Does all of the fucking war and terrible, horrible, fucked up shit going on erase the one handhold and erase all of that stuff? Maybe you're right. Maybe they're not comparable. But the fact that that still can exist while this is existing is not nothing. I think that's actually really fucking beautiful. And again, people might look at this video and be like, she's just gaslighting herself. Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I am, but did you ever stop to think that maybe you also are? You might also be gaslighting yourself into making things a whole lot worse in your own reality than they actually are. And again, I'm not saying this to stop caring about the world around you. Quite the opposite. I'm using this as a way to propel you into like small fucking changes you can make in your life that can help you and your community and the world around you. Because again, you need to get this hero complex out of your head that you're not going to save the world. You're not going to do that. That is ridiculous. It does not take one person, but you can save yourself. And that is arguably, that's a really hard thing to do. A lot of people choose to not, again, just based on life and everything that goes on around them. It's a lot easier sometimes to take the other route and be like, oh, fuck it. Fuck this. I'm not doing this. It's a lot more challenging to choose to save yourself a lot of the time, but I will say it's quite rewarding once you get past a lot of shit. And anyway, yeah, but also again, I understand that it's a lot easier for me to think like this sometimes because of the life I've been given. And if it means anything to any of you, I know you don't know me, but I have lived quite an incredible life despite everything that I've gone through and every ounce of pain that has compiled this year specifically, and despite the mental health issues, despite everything, I have been given a gorgeous, beautiful life full of love. And I don't say that to flex. I don't say that for any specific reason other than the fact to give you a little bit of hope that there are certain people out there that are not suffering constantly, and this life is not pure suffering. Suffering, yes, but also love. Both. That's the reality of it all. And again, you can choose how you transmute that fact, I guess. And your homework for this video is to fucking go find a piece of small positivity. Just like small. It can be so tiny, bitch. Like literally so tiny. But just go look up positive news. Then you can go read all the horrible, terrible, awful things and make yourself feel sorry again after. You totally can do that. I give you full permission to do that. But if you do that, I'm going to also make you fucking look at the positive shit too. I'm gonna make you do both. It's more fun to go both ways. But like, guys, come on. I'm wearing a suit. We knew that about me. But yeah, another thing too, I think it's like, it's nice to fucking validate other people and validate their experiences and validate that like, yeah, this life is really hard sometimes. Like, oh my God, it's such a shit show sometimes. And I see you. I might not know your pain, but I can recognize that it's probably really fucking hard to live the life that you do. No matter what walk of life you come from, like, yes, some are more detrimental than the others, but, like, I think that I saw a TED Talk the other day, and it was about this guy, I might link it below, that was, it's an old TED Talk, but this guy that almost, like, made the choice to become a school shooter. He was going to kill himself, and this is trigger warning, kill himself and then kill a bunch of other kids, like school shootings that are happening a lot more frequently these days as the rise in mental health crisis spikes. Once again, I recognize that fact, but I can also recognize that there are a lot of people actively trying to help mental health crises. We are researching more into psychedelics and their benefits in plant medicine, and again, yes, mental health is rising, but so that rises, so does people trying to help it rise too. Both. Anyway, in the video, he was at that place that a lot of people get to, and the thing that made him stay was someone treating him like a human being, his best friend, even though that he was the guy that was gonna make the choice to become violent, was being kind of a dick and kind of, all of the things. His best friend still treated him with humanity, and that's fucking hard to do. And he just watched a movie with him and just saw him as a human being, and that's what turned him off of it, and that's what made him stop doing it. And I just think about what the fuck could happen if we actually all chose to treat each other like the thing that we are, and that is human. And there's so much about the human psyche we do know, there's so much that we don't know, but I think we can all agree that it's not easy a lot of the time, and it's kind of a shit show. And I think that that's where, again, the human connection comes in, is in the vulnerability and in the scared and the fear and the sorrow and the pain. That's where connection is built, even in the trauma sometimes. And so a lot of people kind of ask, or have the question like, why do we live in a world where all of that exists? And I'm like, I don't really know the answer to that, but one take that I like to think about is because that helps us love and connect, like, all of the time. I feel like love it finds its way and sneaks its way in when shit is literally belly up, when shit is fucked and doomed to fail. It's funny because there is so many times where, like, love just creeps in. It's very interesting. And again, you don't have to agree with me on this. Yeah, I don't know. I think that also, again, our brain wants to be right so bad, so it will seek information to further prove these beliefs that you're holding on to as a person. So just fucking be careful what you believe in. Like, you can believe that this world is kind of really fucked up sometimes, and yet still also believe in the fact that that doesn't mean that my life has to be horrible for the rest of my days if I've been lucky enough to be born into what I've been born into. But again, you hear it, like, there are so many stories out there that you can consume and put in your mind and feed your mind with that are, like, very positive ones where people have pulled themselves out of literal hell and made different for themselves. So there is that. Okay, my last closing thoughts, because I have to go to school. Yeah, so this picture is making a comeback. Okay, it made its debut earlier, and I don't want you to forget it. I want it ingrained in your frontal cortex for the rest of your days. I did not end up going to school, just by the way, so there's that. What you run away from ends up chasing you 10 times harder. So again, if you're kind of trying to put on this, like, mask of toxic positivity, or not look at your darkness, or not, like, look at the world's darkness, or, like, all of these, like, things that you try to suppress, they kind of end up coming out at some point or another, because literally everything has to come up for air at some point. But I will say, again, even just acknowledging it, I had a moment last night that's kind of hit me, where I was literally spiraling myself into a full-blown crisis, existential panic attack. Like, everything was all-consuming. I get in those places where I just can't, one thought will trigger a bunch, and I just kind of spiral. It's pretty ugly a lot of the time. But I was like, nope, you know what? I'm choosing to go about this differently. I'm going to choose something different. I'm not going to do this. No. Or I'm like, I am going to do this, but I'm going to choose to do it differently. So I was just like, all right, fine. All you, come on, weird fucked up thoughts I'm having. Let's see it. What are you going to do? Are you gonna hurt me and kill me in this moment? Probably not. I think I'm probably more of a threat to myself. I'm kidding. Please don't sound the alarm. I'm in therapy and I'm getting help. But yeah, I'm just like, all right. And I reached out and I texted people that I was like having a moment, and I didn't really go into details because I don't believe in trauma dumping, but I was like, I am actively having a crisis, freak out, and I'm gonna pull myself out of it because I'm really strong, but that doesn't mean I have to carry it alone, or at least be alone. Literally someone else just knowing is sometimes enough for you. Like, if you can do it in a way where it's not putting it on them, like, I don't trauma dump everything that I'm thinking, but I'm just like, I'm having a weird time. Just letting you know. That is huge. And again, it sounds so cliche and it sounds so much easier said than done. It is a lot of the time, but I can't tell you the amount of relief that I felt just doing that. And then another thing too, I just like wrote it out. I was just like, this is what's going on and this is where I'm at right now. And I didn't judge it. I just kind of like acknowledged it. And like I said, acknowledging anything does wonders, whether it's acknowledging another suffering, hurting human, acknowledging their existence, acknowledging your own thoughts, acknowledging all these things and just being like, okay, yep. It takes away so much of their power. I'm not even kidding. And also, again, to end it off, not only be careful. Oh, fuck, there's so much I still have to say. Oh my God, girl. Please, this video. Okay, let's see. We tend to lean into the character type that we've been given throughout our years based on our life circumstances. And that's kind of like what we choose. We're just like, well, I'm like this because of this. I'm like, well, you don't have to be, though. You really don't. Like, you really do not have to be that way. Like, if you were labeled as like the bad person and black sheep or whatever, this is just an example, pretty personal one, you're going to act that out. You are going to act that out. Again, whatever role you assign to yourself or society assigns you or whatever the fuck, best believe that your brain will act it out because it thinks it's true. It does not have to be. Another thing too, what I was gonna say really, really quick, lesbian leg thing, between the legs thing. I love my friends. Anyway, the whole reason I turned on this video and then I ended up talking for 26 minutes, bye bitch, is because I wanted to talk about one of the things that proves that we're all connected. There's also a book that's very much worth looking into. It's called, oh God, what is it called? Wayfinders, and Why Keeping Ancient Wisdom is Important in the Modern Day World. Really interesting. Even if you don't read it, go look up a summary of it. I think it's knowledge that should be had, especially in this day and age. But the first part of it talks about how modern day genetic testing, yes, I am reading something, fuck off my dick, provides powerful evidence that all humans are deeply and fundamentally connected. So this is not just like the woo-woo shit, though I do think there's something to that too, but don't get me started. It's talking about how literally I'm just gonna read it. All living humans can trace their maternal lineage back to a single female ancestor, mitochondrial Eve, and their paternal lineage to a single male ancestor, Y chromosomal Adam, who lived in Africa within a broadly overlapping evolutionary time frame. So this is like scientific proof that we are connected as a humanity, even with different races, cultures, whatever the fuck we got going on. So next time you think that you're not very similar to that person or whatever that you hate so bad, think a fucking again, because we are all connected, which I think should give us a little bit more compassion for one another. But no, we have to be stupid cunts about it. Anyway, whatever. I'm sick. Girl, I gotta go put my laundry in the dryer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped in some way. But if it didn't, lick my ass. Because, I don't know, you just should. Consensually, that'd be kind of hot. I'm so sorry. Okay, bye. Have a good day. Right, and I bet you were wondering to yourself, surely I won't be seeing that picture of her again. That's zooming in because I forgot to take Ken Burns off. Surely I won't see that one more time. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You can never escape, ever. So here we are going back to the original video. Yes, I know, I'm aware, I'm all over the place. I'm self-aware, so you can't hurt me, okay? This is a lot of babble for stuff that has already been said, but like I said, I don't want to edit it out. I don't want to. So that's what's happening. Okay, bye. I'm so late. See? Anyway, I have been thinking about how fragile our humanity is and how we're losing a lot of our humanity. It feels like compassion's becoming a lost art, which is really not cool. Like, I'm all about a little bit of cuntiness sprinkled in there, but genuinely, the loss for compassion and loss for understanding of someone else's experience, though it looks different to ours, is quickly becoming a dying art, which is terrifying. And I always want to remind people that it's a human thing to fear the unknown and fear what we don't know, and so we place judgment on it instead. And that fear and that judgment is what snowballs into isolation and to a lot of dark, horrible, horrible things. I think the darkest parts of the psyche could so easily be nurtured if we weren't so afraid of other people's thoughts, and if other people weren't so afraid of themselves, or like othering themselves and like separating themselves from the pack because they think that there's something wrong or different about them. And maybe there is, but like, I don't think that should be shunned a lot of the time. I think that we should nurture that a lot of the time. Obviously, there's gonna be some one-offs, just like the darkest of the dark that humanity can get. And most of the time, those kids just needed a little bit of love. And most of the time, that people that are in the depths of it, not all the time, but I'd like to go on record and say most of the time, they just want their humanity to be noticed. And they just want they don't want to be neglected, and they don't want to feel like there's something wrong with them, because the more you tell someone that there's something wrong with them, the more they're going to lean into that character and archetype in themselves. And the reality is, if someone is quote unquote sick or wrong or bad, then all of us are in some way, shape, or form. And I will fucking die on that hill. And I'm like, I'm so sick of watching us try to other ourselves, or try to like point fingers and being like, you're basic and I'm different and I'm awesome and I'm cool. We're all fucking human. Get over yourself. Get the fuck over yourself. Like, have some goddamn compassion and understanding for people, and understand that like most of the time shit is not personal. I'm not saying like put up with stuff. If people are, being an asshole, clock them. Just kidding. You know when. But like, it makes me so sad to see how much we've fallen as people, because like nobody understands the human experience and how messy and fucked it can get better than another human. And we have lost that, I think, a lot, and it's unfortunate, and I'm really hoping that we can work on building that back up. Anyway, I gotta skedaddle. I'm sure the other one of me is gonna have a lot more to say regarding this whole subject, but basically, I actually only turned this on because I wanted to show you my Christmas sweater. Compliment it. I don't know why I grabbed my tits. Also, this ascot needs to... Anyway, be nice, but also be cunty. I've gotta work on my sign-off. I love you. Love you, Big Time Rush. Take care of yourself, princess.